Hello. Welcome, Alex. Blessed dark moon. How are we? Hello. Let's see what we've got going on here. All right. We're just going to give this a few minutes. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? I know it is Monday. It is Memorial Day. Might have been out all afternoon, all morning. I've been roaming around myself, Damien and I. How we got? Okay, let me get all my things ready. Might have some new folks popping on tonight, and sometimes getting everything going is a little tricky. So, all right. Alex, how are you feeling? How is this dark moon treating you today? How are you and Kevin and Cookie doing? Is everything feeling rejuvenated, or are we feeling like kind of exhausted? It's kind of one of those moons. It's the new moon in Gemini. I mean, yay. Am I right? All righty, Aphrodite. Hi, Liz. How are you? Blessed new moon. Blessed Numenia. Oh, I like your cowboy hat. Liz just had a solo trip, which was so cool. And she got to go check out some cool stuff in Tennessee. Do I have that right? I think I have that right. Hail Hekate. Oh yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. All right, so we've got, let me get this squared away here. We've got I'd love to talk to you all about it. Yes, with the little cowboy boots. Look at you. I love it. I can't wait to hear. Oh man. So we have our new moon in Gemini, Blessed Numenia. This is our new moon. We are going to be doing, of course, our communal Deipnon, right? And a protection petition. So I'm just going to wait like just a second more for Patreon to get, has a little bit of a lag. All righty. Okay. Good energy this moon, clearing out that Scorpio moon. Oh yeah, right. I am feeling that 1,000%. I'm able to get things done on this moon. Although I will say, I typically have insomnia during like new moons and full moons. And I woke up at 4 and just couldn't go back to sleep. And then, I don't know, a couple hours later, I like crashed hard and woke up like I was like, had slept like Rumpelstiltskin like a million years. And I was like, wow. Ah. So it's been that kind of a day, which I allowed myself to have because you know what? We need to pause sometimes, right? We need to pause. So what do we have here? All right, let's get started. My name is Mandy Wild, which most of you on here know. I am also known as the Wild Medium. I am an astrologer, an educator of the divine feminine, and a medium, if you couldn't tell by my handle. So each month, I host 2 live stream events entitled Nomine Hekate, one in the dark or / new moon and one under the full moon. And of course, the dark moon is for an Hekate discourse, communal Deipnon and protection petition. And I like to do these services to Hekate for our community. My goal is, as a dedicant, to create a warm, safe, open space for all who feel called to her. As someone who runs a Nomine Hekate as a coven as well, like that is like our goal. We need to reach out, right? And so if people are interested, I want to make sure I'm reaching them. Kevin, welcome, brother. How are you? Good to see you. See you. Like I can see you. Good to see your name. But just know that I am so honored to walk this path with you, with each and every one of you. All right. Before we even start anything, can we just say happy birthday to our Gemini brothers and sisters? Right? Happy birthday, Geminis. And shout out to one of our favorite witches. Happy birthday, Stevie Nicks. My goodness, we've had like her music on repeat. Like I'm looking into the sky where Damien is not. He's in the other room, but we've been playing it for the last couple of hours, getting in the mood. Love some Stevie Nicks. So happy birthday, dear Stevie Nicks. And Ron, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see your name, rather. I keep saying good to see you. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Alex says, I have barbecue veggie leftovers, and some homemade garlic dip with candles on the offer. Ooh, for your Deipnon. That sounds so lovely. Leah's birthday is tomorrow, Kevin. Please extend my happiest birthday wishes to her. Another beautiful Hekatean witch. Squeeze her neck for me and give her my love and kisses. Happy birthday to Leah. Yay! So I have some new member shout outs that have joined Patreon, and I like to do this. And I was so humbled and so just taken aback with the names that I received in the last few days. So I'm going to shout them out now. Prismagica. I just have that name, so I'm not really sure if I'm saying that right. But Prismagica, Diana, Viva, Winston, Jasmine, Amy, Robin, Beth, Kim, Tara, Samantha, Paul, Kendra, Kari, Lasara, Mish M or Mishan, Lolan, Rachel, and Holly. Thank you. Thank you for finding me over on Patreon and joining this community over here. Really, really appreciate that support. Seriously, I really, really do. It truly means the world. So thank you. And as a lot of you know, we're going to start off by calling in our directions. Now, if you are on Patreon, I do have it listed out. I know some of you have been doing these live streams with me for the last 2 years or so. So you probably have this memorized, but if not, it is written down on the Patreon page that the live stream is in. So in many magical traditions, right, we call in the 4 directions and the elements to establish a balance, protection, and connection to that natural world. Each direction holds unique energies that help guide and empower our work. And as we call in these quarters, we're creating a sacred space, a circle of protection, of focus, right? Where we can connect to the energies around us and within us. So let's begin to open ourselves to the flow of these powers, to these forces. And if you'd like to join in, please do so now. I call to the east where the air takes flight, filling our lungs with breath pure of life. I call to the south where the fire burns bright, protecting and guiding like torches in the night. I call to the west where the water flows might, feeding and nourishing our gift of inner sight. I call to the north where the earth holds tight, grounding us here under the moon's soft light. I call to spirit in quiet introspection, a journey within, seeking soul's connection. Oh, today we are, or this evening, tonight for some of you, this evening for us on the West Coast, we are talking about Hekate Enodia. She is the keeper of the wild road, guardian of the road, right? Chances are, if you are here, you are either curious about Hekate or you are currently walking with Hekate Enodia. Hekate Enodia, in a traditional sense, is the aspect of Hekate as the guardian or the goddess of the crossroads, the paths, the journeys. She encompasses all that is of the roads. Tonight, we're focusing on that one that winds, that vanishes into the thickets, that stretches in silence beyond where we can see. Hekate Enodia, as a guardian of the roads, stands with us not as a marker of arrival, but as a companion throughout that journey itself. I know some of you are familiar with the Kerouac book, On the Road, right? Well, he wrote of a road that wasn't about reaching somewhere, but about being on it, about living through the unpredictability, about embracing the messiness of motion, right? Of that movement. A road that was not smooth, a road that was challenging and often not clear. Well, neither is Hekate's. Hekate's road is definitely not for the faint of heart, and not many truly end up staying on it. It's wild because it isn't meant to offer certainty. It's meant to be one of presence. Enodia doesn't hand you a map, right? She hands you a torch. And if you've ever had a torch, I know Kevin has, if you've ever held a torch, you know you can only see a few feet in front of you. Kind of like the the Hermit card, well, Virgo card too, the Hermit card in the tarot deck, right? He's holding the lantern and you can only see just a few feet in front of you. Presence over certainty is an essential idea, especially in the context of Hekate Enodia. Now, certainty certainly gives us a sense of control, right? Yeah. But it also creates rigidity. It locks one into a single path or a single answer. And when you cling to certainty, you risk becoming so focused on what should happen that you stop seeing what is actually happening. Right? Certainty may feel comfortable. I know it does. I know it does. But it can also close you off from growth, from surprise, from deeper understanding of the path you have chosen to walk in this lifetime. Presence, on the other hand, is all about being fully awake in the moment, however uncertain it is. It means meeting the world as it is, with curiosity, with openness. In the presence of Hekate Enodia, we learn that being present allows us to listen, to notice subtle changes, to sense the right moment to move forward or the right moment to pause. Presence makes space for intuition, for that guidance of the unseen, of what we can't see with our naked eyes, for the slow gathering of our inner strength. The benefit of presence is that it allows for a deeper, more authentic, I love that, right? Relationship with yourself and with the journey, because that's what it's about, right? It invites you to trust your own insight rather than relying on external guarantees. Presence offers the flexibility to adapt to a terrain. And we know, those of us that are on Hekate's path, or if you've even started, or if you're even curious, you've probably seen that it is a little bit narrower, rockier, steeper, messier than the wide open path. And no shade if you are on a wide open path right now. We all have to be on that at times of our life, right? It gives us expediency, right? Sometimes we need to get somewhere fast, and that is that road, right? Or for whatever, maybe it's a lifetime, maybe you're in a lifetime of that wide road. That's okay too. But all this invites you to trust your own insight rather than relying on external guarantees. Presence, again, offers that flexibility to adapt to the terrain, to respond to life's changes, and to really, really, truly, and deeply savor the path itself, because that is a gift. Whatever path you are on, it is a gift. So when Hekate offers you a torch instead of a map, she's inviting you to be present. When you're asking for clarity and you seem to get just maybe a few steps in front of you lit and you're like, this is not helping, she's inviting you right then and there to be present, to take notice of what's going on in your direct vision, to stand in the dark with a light in hand and notice what is around you, not to rush to that destination, but honoring each step, each stone, each lesson. Now, I want to read some of these. I get so caught up. Welcome. Oh, Melanie, what's up? Good crowd tonight. Yes, it sure is. Thank you for joining, everyone. I appreciate you. Now, I want to address something as well, because with Hekate's road being narrow, being steep, being, having to climb over boulders, having to move boulders, having to dig under boulders, whatever it is. Some of you may be experiencing exhaustion right now, fatigue, spiritual unsettling that happens after a great output. We get that boost and we're feeling alive, and something happens and the path seems to stop, but it's there. It is still there. You were not abandoned in the middle of a place where you cannot walk your way out of. We all get to this point, no matter what path we're on. The wide highway, right? If we've got it easy, that's exhausting too, because that's a lot of stuff happening on that road as well. But we all have this, and no one said that you could not rest while you are on this road. As a matter of fact, this road has much more opportunity for fatigue than the other, right? So maybe you're on a path that you've even traversed over and over and over again, so much that it's starting to feel and look like a trench. You're like, I know this. I have been walking the same 5 feet for the past year, and I have not gotten further. I have only gone down deeper. That's okay. That's part of it too. You will not be stuck there forever. I promise you. I promise you. And if this is resonating with you tonight, start to notice what shades the soil is turning as you get deeper. Notice the temperature of where you are. What does that mean symbolically to you? Typically, when we go lower, the temperature gets cooler, right? Sometimes we get detached from others because we're further away from them, and so it feels cooler. And what happens when things get cool? They slow down. And that is like a symbolic, hey, let's really take a dive into what is going on, this snapshot right here. Or maybe you're on a stint that feels like you've been crawling uphill for years. And you're even wondering if you're on a path. And while, yes, you're getting very intimate with your surroundings, right? And you're like, that exists. Ouch, that hurts, Maybe the flame that you're carrying is beginning to flicker or beginning to dim. But that does not mean that it is out. She will not let her flame go out while she's walking with you. She will not. Will it dim? Yeah, it will. As it dims, that is just another opportunity to look a little bit more granularly as to what is going on in your surroundings, what is going on in your inner landscape, so to speak. It's a tapering. It's a reminder to slow down, to take a breath before moving on. And guess what? You can ask for a little more light. Yes, you can. So do it. If you feel like you need to see a little more in front of you and you're like, look, I get that I need to look at this, but for my own well-being, can you give me a little more light? It will appear. But know that quite possibly the reason that it is dim or you are in that trench is that there is something in that spot of exhaustion that needs to be examined more closely. Perhaps the terrain got sticky here to initiate a pause. Does that hit home for you? we need to remember that exhaustion is not a sign of failure. It is not a sign of being abandoned by Hekate. And it is not a sign that you've lost your way. It's a sign that you are human and that you have poured yourself into something meaningful. Creative individuals, you know what I'm talking about too. The road isn't always about charging forward. Enodia is not about full speed. It's about sometimes slowing to that crawl, right? Sometimes it's about sitting right where you are. You're still on the road, you're still on that path. And sometimes it's about letting that dust settle and listening to the sounds around you. Maybe someone in your life has been trying to say something to you, but you've been working, you've been doing the work, right? You feel like, I'm doing the work, but they're saying something valid too. Or maybe something is going on internally. Maybe it's your body trying to get you to slow down, to recognize to a health issue. Maybe it's just to rest your weary legs and to just enjoy the scenery too. That could be part of it. Like, hey, you're working your butt off. Why don't you just chill for a second here? I'm going to dim the lights because I want you to take a notice. Look at how big that boulder is up there. Yeah, you're going to have to climb over it, but wow, isn't it majestic? Look at the stars above it. What kind of bird is that in the tree? Have you ever even seen that kind of bird before? Look at it. Wow. What is it saying? What does it sound like? What does the tweet mean to you? Hekate Enodia doesn't rush. She just wants you to honor the pause sometimes, right? She never demands that you force yourself forward. Instead, she holds the space. She's not one to hold her hand, in my opinion, but she does hold the space. We kind of need both our hands on her terrain, right? She illuminates with her torch just enough to see sometimes that next step, but not so much that you feel pressured to take it before you're ready. So remember, this is a gift of presence to be where you are, even if where you are is tired right now or just quietly waiting. You have free will. You can stop whenever you want and just camp out and like, I'm going to have my canteen of water now and just check out what's going on. To recognize the stillness on the road does not mean that you've stopped walking your path. It just means you're gathering. You're gathering strength, you're gathering insight, you're gathering courage, you're gathering your will. You see, we are all on the road, and sometimes the road asks us to look around and to carefully remove which stands in our way. But each thing we move is not just an obstacle, it is a tool. It's a teaching that we gather to help clear the way into the future. You're starting to teach yourself that resting isn't a detour, it's part of the journey. The road Hekate watches over isn't a highway of achievement. That's a hard one to swallow, especially for this Capricorn rising Aries sun. It's a lesson I have to learn over and over again. But her path is a living path. It is a path full of growth. It is a path full of overgrowth and awakenings, right? It is the slow unfolding of your own resilience. So when you rest, know that Hekate is there, holding that space with you. The torch is still burning to remind you that you are exactly where you need to be. The road will be there when you are ready to stand up and walk again. Now, for the collective, we're all walking our own versions of this path or this road. And not everyone, like I said, is walking that same winding path that we've chosen. Some may be on a wider, smoother road, and maybe you or I will be on that smoother road at some point again. But that doesn't mean that their journey is easier or without its own interruptions and challenges. We see what happens on, let's say, a freeway, a long, fast moving expressway. That has its own issues, its own interruptions, right? They just look different, but they are there. We've all been on that road. So we never truly know the full story of another person's path, the burdens that they've already carried with Enodia, right? The obstacles that they've overcome, or the twists and the turns that may lie ahead for them. And it's not a competition, Mandy. It's not a competition. It's not a race to the finish line. I mean, I'm in no hurry to get to the end of the road, if you know what I mean. All right. And it's also important to remember that it's not a linear journey, right? Where one path is better or more valid than the other. What the road offers, no matter its shape, is an invitation to slow down and be present and to savor the terrain we are moving through. And in that space, we will find compassion for ourselves and for those that we meet along the way. So, what do we got going on before we get into our Deipnon? How are we feeling? Definitely, Melanie says, definitely not about charging forward. We need to crawl, and we need to honor the crawl so we can let the dust settle, and we can observe and listen. 1,000%. Liz says, I am definitely looking at big pictures instead of beneath my feet. Yep. Alex says, I love what you're saying about the different types of paths. It does feel ever shifting and changing. It is, right? Uncertain, sometimes dull, sometimes chaotic. You know, all of these are very, very good points. Ramdas said, we are all just walking each other home. I love that saying, Liz. I love that saying. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything over here. So before we get to our Deipnon, I want to address some of this really fast. That is so important. That crawl, that honoring that that space, that intimate space that we are all in, right? We get dirty when we're on her path because it is such an intimate one with ourselves. And that's not always the most fun place to be in, right? So we might have scraped elbows and tender hands from climbing up. Our knees may be a little broken or bruised. That leaves us in very tender and vulnerable spaces. And for those of us that are walking that path and know of brothers and sisters who are, we need to remember, maybe we're on a part that we're like, I got this. And one of our other fellow Hekateans is struggling, or not even if they aren't, and if you just see someone, we never know what someone is going through. We can be good little witches and offer our support. All right, Deipnon. Who is ready for our communal Deipnon? I love that we have these. And, you know, we have Liz make these beautiful eggs for our coven gatherings. And I want us all just to take a moment to envision the largest, most incredibly naturally dyed egg that Liz can bring for us tonight. And we spoke earlier, and she was like, "I'm out of eggs." You know what? That's okay. We can dream up our eggs. You can leave offerings like that 1,000%. Alex says everyone's path is unique as a fingerprint. Yes, they are, right? I've got some apple tonight with some dates and pistachios, some herbs, dried and fresh, some garlic, of course, and some olive oil. I take that back. It's avocado oil. Because I don't have olive oil right now, but I've got avocado oil, and I think that's just as lovely and buttery. So Deipnon, for those who are new to Hekate's path, the Deipnon is an offering we make to Hekate at the end of the lunar month, usually during the dark moon phase, where it's time to kind of clear out old energies and leave behind any burdens. And we set intentions for the new cycle ahead, the Numenia, the new moon. And traditionally, people would leave food offerings at the crossroads as a way of honoring Hekate and asking her to clear the path ahead. And then petitions were made for her good graces on Numenia, the new moon, which is tonight. So the new moon and the dark moon, right? But we're doing both tonight under the new moon of Gemini. So again, like, offerings can be whatever you feel or imagine, because that's what we like to do with our communal Deipnons. We'll bring what we can, and if we don't have anything, we've all got you. And we can also imagine even bigger, more illustrious offerings. But typically or traditionally, it would be something like eggs or fish, honey, herbs, dates, figs, olives, wine, bread, garlic, cheese, meats. I'm vegan, so you won't see the fish, eggs, or meats in my house, but we have other folks on here that do, and it just makes a beautiful, beautiful offering. So I love to do this collectively, and there's a power, right? A powerful energy in that collective, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to start with the Orphic hymn to Hekate tonight before our Deipnon. And I believe I put this over on Patreon as well, if you want to join along and read, if I can read through my mask, because that is a thing as well. All right. The Orphic hymn to Hekate. Hekate of the path, I invoke thee, lovely lady of the triple crossroads, celestial, Chthonian, and marine one, lady of the saffron robe, sepulchral, celebrating the Bacchic mysteries among the souls of the dead, daughter of Perses, lover of solitude, rejoicing in deer, nocturnal one, lady of the dogs, invincible queen, she of the cry of the beast, ungirt one, hail Isostos, having an irresistible form, bull herder, keeper of the keys of all the universe, mistress, guide, bride, nurturer of youths, mountain wanderer, I pray thee, maiden, to be present at our hallowed rites of initiation, always bestowing thy graciousness upon the Bokulos, the ox herd. Going into our Deipnon, I would love if you could just kind of relax, close your eyes. If you've got your offering ready, beautiful. If not, we've got you. And I'm not going to do a full meditation with this evening because I know we're kind of running short on time now, but really just kind of imagine yourself on whatever path you have taken recently, whatever that looks like. I want you to be present where this path feels like you are. If you feel like you're in the trenches, that's okay. I want you to take the time to leave Deipnon in this space. If you feel like you're on the wide open road, pull over a bit and just take the time to leave Deipnon in this space. If you've been climbing uphill, see if there's like a boulder or a tree or something you can kind of lean on and imagine yourself there. Wherever you are, she will come and meet you. Hekate Enodia, keeper of the crossroads. We are your pack. We, under your name, in Nomine Hekate, come to you with full hands and an open heart. We offer these tokens of release, some of us with dirt on our hands and knees, for we have been on your narrow path. Tonight, we ask for you to take the burdens we no longer need. With this offering, clear the stones from our path, the ones that have become too heavy to lift. Light the way a little bit brighter with your steady torches, because we, your loyal pack, trust you to accept these offerings and to carry them beyond the crossroads into the wild unknown. To serve the bokolos, the ox herd that we don't see. May they be received with honor, and may your blessings return to us as strength, because some of us need this right now to keep crawling on this path, to keep climbing on this path, to dig our way back onto this path, to help others get back on their path. Hekate Enodia, guide of the roads, guardian of souls, accept our Deipnon and walk with us through this next cycle with gratitude, with love. We leave the supper in your care. Setimo Hekate, Evkaristo, Ave Maria, Prostasia, Evexia, Hekate Enodia, Hekate Enodia, Hekate Enodia. Guardian of the roads, we stand at your crossroads with an open heart. Protect us as we walk this wild unfolding path. Light the ground beneath our feet. Guide our steps through uncertainty. Shield us from harm and ill intent. Help us gather the tools we need for resilience, for clarity in this presence we have chosen. We trust your torches to reveal the way in your name and with gratitude. Nomine Hekate. Start to breathe deeply. Feel her torches flare, grow. They are steady once again. The crossroad is quiet. The offerings are left behind. And the road now stretches before you, whether it wild smooth, deep, steep, but wholly yours. Yours to walk with her beside you. Carry this with you into the coming months. Walk, understand the patience of her path. Hi. I really liked that one, and I felt every single one of you. Thank you for being present in that Deipnon, in that petition, in the hymn. Melanie says, I'll take a picture and show later. Natural black eggs. Ooh, I don't even know what that is. Garlic and ginger, because I'm feeling spicy. Yeah. Oh, I know you've got olive oil, Liz. I bet you've got the good stuff from Greece. Lots of warm, good feelings and comfort, right? I love you all so much. It is such an honor, seriously, to share this space with you every 2 weeks. What we are going on 2 years of this every 2 weeks. How incredible is that? How incredible is this? This is amazing. Okay, I have a couple of housekeeping announcement. Oracular mediumship, a direct line to the divine, is releasing on May 31st on miskatonic.com, miskatonicbooks.com. So this is where you can sign up for the wait list right now, because on March 3rd, or excuse me, May 31st is when it is open to purchase as a course. It's kind of confusing. So when you go, it might say sold out or join wait list or not available. You just can join wait list, and then they'll send you an email when it's like ready to roll, which it will be in a handful of days. But it is an 8-week course exploring the practices of ancient oracles through the lens of contemporary mediumship. So the Delphi, Dodona, Trophonius, Ammon, the Claros. I don't know why I sound like this, but Egyptian temples, the civils, and the oracles of the dead, all to help understand foundations of mediumship. And there's practices, and it's really beautiful. I worked my little tush off since January, and it is finally, like, we were sending things off even just like this week. So it is now officially out of my hands. My wonderful husband helped film this and edited everything and let me use his space to do the filming. And it was just months of really beautiful labor, which I love. So my hope is that whoever it ends up reaching, that you get everything that you want to get out of it. Again, 8 weeks is so not enough time to teach this stuff, but it is really a beautiful and rich and dense class. Eclectic artists. Yay, you guys are so awesome. Thank you. I am so grateful to have Damien as a creative partner. He is definitely the other half of Wild Medium. It is a wonderful, beautiful thing that I get to share. So thank you, Damien. Other than that, I'll see you all in 2 weeks. You know where to find me. I'll be here. I will be on Instagram under Wild Medium or Nomine Hekate, and on Facebook. Although Facebook is a little bit less, just because it's not my stuff gets squashed there. It gets squashed on all Meta platforms. But anyway, that's why I have this. Damien making the magic, right? Ron says, thank you, Damien. Oh, such an honor. Such an honor. Let's see. Oh, Brett. Okay. What do we got over here? I've got Brent. Hey, Brent and Charity. Oh my gosh. Walking barefoot through the metaphysical and physical graveyard will get you dirty, he says. 1,000%. 100%. So I'm so sorry I didn't see those messages earlier. They were kind of hiding with my little notes. Brent is right. They will get you dirty. Charity, I hope you are doing well, my friend. Where are we? That's that. Have a beautiful Gemini moon, everyone. Wish everyone a great week. Yes, Mel, DM me about the ducks. Yay! I want to please share in our coven chat, please, little photos. I would love that. All right. Love you. See you in 2 weeks under the full moon. Oh my gosh, look what's doing. I didn't know it did that. I want to do it again. Will it do it again? Yes. Okay. There's all my love to you. All right. Mwah.